I hope you're ready for another season of Nock On, because it is gonna be a good one. After an amazing few days in Montana and filling that big game combo tag, I went ahead and crossed the border to South Dakota to get an over-the-counter antelope tag so that I could spend my last few days in a bail blind sitting on a water hole. So for this episode, we're going to be in South Dakota with not only myself, but my good friend the Hackett brothers going after some speed goats. To recap last week's episode, I was able to take an unbelievable muley and then follow it up a day later with a great elk. Is that unreal? Oh my gosh. After taking care of my bull, having a few back straps on the fire, and packing our gear, we left elk country and headed east towards the speed goats. Monster antelope are pretty tough to come by nowadays in South Dakota, but luckily I was able to get an inside scoop from a rancher who was out looking for cattle and found this buck miles from any road. So I had to grab my Yamaha, my bail blind, and a decoy and travel a few miles into a water hole that I found to set up and sit him out. Well, we're here in South Dakota and the wind's starting to pick up, but we got a really nice watering hole out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna put this, got a Montana decoy. I'm gonna put the Montana decoy on the back side of the pond over here, and then I'm gonna set up my bail blind so that the wind's right, and I'm just gonna put in some time, see what happens. My last tag for the western hunts here, so let's see how it goes. "10 miles away from my setup, the sun was starting to rise over where the Hackett brothers had a setup of their own, and their spot proved to be dynamite.
Holy crap. Point blank. That was close. Archery close right there. Sweet. Dude, he's down already.
Beautiful morning here in South Dakota, day one of the hunt, and we got a nice goat on the ground. Bail blind came through again for us. This guy came into about 7 yards, broadside. Great shot. Put the rage to the cage, and we are done in South Dakota. Nock on.
All right, well, I got in the blind and got all set up. Literally came across a mile or 2 miles of pasture to get out here. Never saw an antelope. Figured there were no antelopes even around this water hole right now. Get in the blind, I mean, here a matter of a few minutes, I hear a doe snort all of a sudden. I look out the window, and I mean, they are right there. I think they heard me in here messing around. The buck ended up coming right behind me. I mean, right within bow range. He never knew what was going on, what the doe was alerted about, and I had to just film him. I couldn't get spun around and film the whole thing and shoot out one window. So the only shot I've got is if they come back to water. It's a super hot day, so I've got that going for me. But as of right now, I know that I saw him go all the way over the hill and out of sight.
Nock on TV is brought to you by Hoyt. Get serious, get Hoyt. Under Armour, go where you don't belong. Stealth Cam, game cameras. Redneck, bail blinds. Sherlock, hunting sights. Nocturnal, lighted Nocks. Fuse, hunting accessories. And Yamaha, ATV and side-by-sides, real world tough. I'm John Dudley. I'm an archer. I'm a bow hunter. I am defiant.
Dead center.
Today I want to talk with you about the importance of your front shoulder and also how the first few seconds of you attempting to draw your bow can have a huge impact on what your shoulder does to your form for the rest of your shot. A common problem that a lot of people have is as soon as they begin to think about putting tension on their string, they immediately rock back and load this front shoulder high. And that's not what you want to do. You need to keep your front shoulder down and forward, no different than if you simply raise your arms straight up from your side. As soon as you begin to push this shoulder up to try to draw your bow, you've already made a critical form mistake. So what you want to do is focus on keeping your front shoulder directly over your front foot. You need to think about that through your entire draw cycle. You need to be able to simply raise your bow to the target while maintaining that front shoulder position down and forward and also directly over that front foot. For some people, it's almost easier to almost lower the front shoulder as they begin their draw rather than raise it. If you want to be in a proper position, starting out a little lower is always going to be the better choice. So I'm going to show you here a quick broadside of how my front shoulder is throughout the shot routine, and then I'll also go ahead and give you a shot. So I'm going to simply raise my bow to the target. I'm going to point my pin at the target. Again, my front shoulder is down. It's not up. I haven't done this as soon as I started to think about pulling. Again, this small little 2-inch hitch is already putting this shoulder in an improper position. You want to keep it down, raise that bow, and then draw the string towards the face. Go ahead and give you a quick shot and show you just how easy it is. Perfect.
Expand your archery knowledge with Nock On Podcasts, the highest level of world-class archery information available on either iTunes or at knockon.podbean.com. While I'm off staring at a water hole with nothing even close to it, the Hackett brothers are once again right dead in front of a hot spot with 2 bucks rushing in to check out their decoys.
South Dakota goat. 25-yard shot, boys. Didn't go anywhere. He's down about 50 yards over there. Knock on. Another awesome antelope hunt out here in South Dakota. Beautiful goat. Good cutters, awesome hooks. Came in at 25 yards this morning. Hunting out of the bail blinds again. These things are amazing. Had no clue. Put him on the ground about 50 yards. Knock and roll.
Well, I'm glad the Hackett brothers were having the success that they were over in their neck of the woods, because for me, I was just riding off in the sunset once again with a big old goose egg. On day 7, the sunrise shed light on exactly what I wanted to see, but they were about 500 yards away. The question is, how long would it take before they would actually come to the water?
Let's see, I probably have 6 hours left before dark, so it's a hot day. I'm hoping before dark I can get it done. Last night. The last night.
With merely minutes left of my hunt, I took one last look out that window to the east, and for the first time since 7 a.m., I finally get to see the whole group moving my way. A huge part of my success is patience, and I'm here to tell you that spending full days without a break in a blind in this temperature is tough. But that's what adds to the excitement of finally being able to think that you're going to have the shot. And that's what makes it hunting, and that is what makes the reward so special to me.
Wow. It's a beautiful, beautiful. This isn't perfect film, so hopefully all you watching don't mind, because this is as real as it gets right here. Filming myself, what I've always done, and I love it. But wow, look at that. That is just unbelievable. I always say that. Look at the moon behind me. Whenever that moon comes up before dark, you can all but guarantee that you're gonna have a great hunt. And this is a phenomenal goat. South Dakota had some huge winter kills several years ago, and it's caused a decline in the antelope population, and the bigger bucks are just not around anymore. But this is definitely a very high scoring goat. Wow. Shot his heart out. Look at this. What a huge buck. Yeah, that's an awesome buck. That's an awesome buck. Wow. I don't know what to do here. Well, he's down there. But I'm gonna go get my tripod real quick and get him propped up. So I'll be right back. Well, here's my South Dakota goat. Just a true reward and a perfect conclusion to an awesome week out west. I hunt hard when I come out here. I try to chase elk all through the mornings. Getting an antelope blind on the South Dakota side all through the day, and as soon as it's time to jump in a whitetail blind or stand, I do that for the evenings. And this guy was my last tag out west, and I saw him today, came by at 10:30, but the wind was so heavy. He was only 38 yards behind the blind, but I couldn't take the shot because I just didn't know what it was going to do to the arrow. And that decision was rewarded by having him come in tonight. So wow, what an awesome antelope. True perfect representation of this species, and can't say enough about my equipment. This really is what makes a difference for me being successful out here in the field. And once again, Hoyt Carbon Spider has helped tag me out. Knock on, everybody.
Hey everybody, want to join the Nock On Nation? Go to knockonarchery.com to see our entire line of trendy Nock On gear. Enter promo code SHOWFAN and get a free signed photo from Dud. knockonarchery.com.
Nocked and ready to rock.
All right, now that we've cut this shaft, we're gonna install the inserts. And it's gonna be important that you use the right type of adhesive depending on the type of arrow that you're using. Because if you're using a carbon shaft, or if you're using a shaft that has a carbon core, you're not gonna wanna use any type of heat source on that carbon. You're gonna wanna use a 2-part epoxy. Now, they recommend a slow cure epoxy. You can use a quicker drying epoxy, but it should be known that the faster something dries, normally the more brittle it will become. So for longevity, those slow cure epoxies are going to be much more desirable. But to install something properly, all you need to do is mix your epoxy. You're going to go ahead and put some of that on the end of the component, and then also a little bit on the inside of the shaft. And then you're going to apply it and twist it as it's going in, press it all the way down, and then wipe off the excess. Now, I really like to stand mine vertically, or if you're shooting a broadhead and you've already fletched this arrow, now's a really good time to put a broadhead on that insert and actually get it aligned properly with your vanes. Now, if you're shooting an aluminum arrow or an aluminum core arrow, then you can use hot melt using a torch. And for this, what I want to show you is you're going to want to take your component, you're going to want to heat that component and heat the hot melt, and then you're going to want to slide that into the shaft, and then I let it cool before wiping the excess off. You never want to heat the carbon or the arrow itself. It's better to have a point in the component so that you can actually heat up the point and let the radiant heat actually heat up the hot melt or the insert itself. So I'm just going to show you how easy it is using hot melt. Now what I'll do is I'll let this dry, and when it does, you can easily peel off that excess glue.